Hey guys, Andy from the FTPgamers.com. We're back in RoboCraft. It's been a while since I've did a video in RoboCraft. We've been keeping an eye on the progress. I've been playing quite a lot. We just haven't put videos out on it. We now have a lot of new stuff to talk about compared to when the original first came out. So we're going to go through what we've got. As you can see, we've got a little test rig set up, tier 2 test rig ready to go. First of all, we're going to talk about the leaderboards. As you can see, we now have a compare against your friend and an average score at the end there. So at the moment you can see Carl and Adam have 0 at tier 2. That's because when implemented none of them have played a tier 2 game. It's not because they've not done very well, it's just they haven't played anything. So maybe instead of 0 value there we could have like a sign or not played or something, but hey. And it goes all the way up to tier 4, 5, etc, etc. Page up and page down, is it? No, it's home and end for the next tiers, so it's end. No. Okay, so that seems to be broken. Fair enough, it's only been out, this is what, it's third day out, but, you know, that's... Oh, there we go. Tier 3, you can see Wee Man's got a really high score. Carl hasn't played any. I haven't played any tier 3. Tier 4. None of us have played tier 4. And then up at tier 5, that's my score at tier 5. There we go. So you can skip through, you can see what your friends have got. You can see what score you're aiming for to try and beat their average, etc. It's a good addition. Really good addition. I like that. That's pretty cool. We've also got a lot of new blogs, including armor cubes. So we have got tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 and tier 5 armor cubes all unlocked. All of them have their own individual colour and have the metallic finish on them, which is pretty cool. Helium block is something totally different we'll talk about in a minute. You can see we've also got our standard hover blades, we've got our thrusters, we've got our wheels, we've also got 2 new additions we'll talk about in the tech tree section. In here we have 2 new types of weapons. You have your standard SMG, which at the moment is really underpowered, and if you have a thing called electroplates, pretty much useless. You've got the 2 other types, which are plasma launchers and rail cannons. Now, at the moment, at the current time of video, plasma launchers are extremely overpowered for one simple reason. They can fire on a 0 to 90 degree arc. Or 0 to, I think it's 87 or something degree arc. Which means these vehicles can drive like battering rams straight towards you, fire a direct shot straight at you and destroy you. If you look at the damage, it's night and day. There's a tier 4, 2775. There's a tier 4 SMG, 572. Night and day. If you've got 4 of these on your ship and you drive another ship, they're dead. They're destroyed. So something has to be done with the plasma launchers. I would suggest maybe taking it from a 0 to 90 firing arc to something like 10. Maybe turn them back into artillery cannons, or even maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 8 degrees. So you've still got a forward fire, but there's an arc. So it can, for the people with SMGs, it gives them a better chance of destroying someone with plasma launchers, because they can get right in, they're underneath that firing arc, and they can batter off, forcing the other person to reverse back, get them back in the fire arc, and take another shot. That's just an idea. Something needs done with it. Rail cannons are like your sniper rifles. They take a couple of seconds to charge up and then discharge. But again, it's night and day. You've got 572 compared to 2375. 20 flops, 16 flops. No flops, according to this. Plasma cannons not take any flops? Really? No, that can't be right. 20 flops. 16 flops. That's probably why we see so many people with like 12 plasma launchers on the top of their vehicles. They don't take up any flops. That's got to be a print error. Surely that can't be right. I'll have to look into that and get back to you guys. I'm hoping that they do have a CPU usage. Yeah, I'm hoping they do. Anyway, back to rail cannons. So our rail cannons have the ability to have a longer range on them, which is pretty cool. Their charge up time means they're not extremely overpowered. The only thing that I find with rail cannons is if you set them up in a 4 or 6 fire pattern, so you have 4 or 6 of them, just like you would have an SMG, they can fire after the first one's charged. They can fire at the same speed as pretty much SMGs. So maybe not a longer charge time, just so that they can't be synced all at the same time. So they can't be fired one charge fire, one charge fire, one charge, like have that space between each one charging and firing, not the charge time, but just a slight delay between each one. Give other people a chance. They're underused in the game at the moment because plasma launchers are just so overpowered. It's stupid, but they could be pretty cool. Like, they seem to be what Tier 1 SMGs were like when they got their redesign. They were really overpowered for the first little bit, and then they got nerfed. And because SMGs were the only thing that were out at the time, everybody moved on to the Tier 2s and stopped using millions of Tier 1s. So, so that's the thing. Yeah, electroplates at the bottom here. We've also got these guys. They are high-powered shielded plates, which should give you an absorb and also an armor rating. So they'll have a tiny bit of armor and they'll have a huge shield. So these guys, these are Tier 4 ones. They've got 4,000 absorb. Okay. If one plasma bolt hits you, it does 2. So that is not bad. The problem is, if you've got 6 plasma shells firing at you, and your electroplate shield is only a tiny bar across the front, it'll absorb 2 of the 6. We'll show you in a game later on, but they are quite handy and helpful, but again, they need a bit more oomph to them, especially if you're not going to deal with plasma launchers. Give electroplates a boost so that we can absorb 3 or 4 of the 6 shells fired at us, that sort of thing. Radars, jammers, so let's actually go and flip bars, so that's quite handy, having a little flip bar. Radar jammers and radar, so that you can't be detected, pretty straightforward. If we have a look at the tech tree, you'll see it's became a big giant spider diagram. We have all our little things, like we've now got thrusters, hoverblades as standard, but on your hoverblades and your aircraft you can also have aerofoils and rudders, so you can turn quicker, make them look more like planes. It's a good addition. They're not actually that bad. They're not that bad, especially when you build something like an anti-aircraft tank. These things are really okay. They're pretty cool. Armor rating is 2,000 on a tier. What tier is that? Tier 5 is armor 2059. A tier 5 SMG kicks out 928. What's a rail cannon kick out? Tier 5 rail cannon 3. And the armor ratings might be a bit higher on them. What's that? 2,000 on the tail. Knight. Yeah. I don't know. That seems to me. They're quite heavy though. Maybe that's the trade-off. You get maneuverability, but you need lots of helium. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't built one, so I can't really talk too much about them. Again, I'm sticking with wheels because I like to be a ground tank, because I think a tank should be a tank. Hoverblade thrusters, we know about them. So radar receivers, radar jammers, and realigners are just exactly what they say. Nothing really too spectacular there. We've got our SMGs going down to tier 10, rail cannons going up to tier 10, and plasma launchers going up to tier 10. Armor blocks, electroplates all leveling up, and they go all the way up to tier 10 as well. The tier 10 one does look cool as heck. Tier 9 is not too bad, but that black and red, that's just amazing. I fear the cost of them per one block, because at the moment the pink ones are 500 a block at tier 5, going up from 250, so doubling in price. So I fear the price then blocks, but those going to be pretty cool. Electroplates again, I like how all the different tiers look different. You know, they all have their own kind of shape and style, and you know, I think that's pretty nice touch, not to have them all just this design. You've got some that are bent, some of them have got different shielding, so you can make different coverings, etc, etc. Pretty cool. So that's there. In our garage we have our little test robot that we're going to do. The other thing we could talk about is social. Again, adding people to your social. Platoons are groups up of 3. If you're premium, you get an extra sub, you get 4. The RoboShop's been recently added as well, where you can buy pre-made vehicles or tanks. Now, this one looks really cool. If I was to get it, the first thing I would do is take these cannons from the top and put them on the bottom, and then I'd give it a lift. I wouldn't have it as a hover tank, I'd make it a plane. We have a... These are useless, I wouldn't even have them there, but yeah. It looks nice. That's useless, I'd get rid of them straight away. Maybe... No, I'd just completely get rid of them and maybe put them there and there as wraparound fronts, there and there as wraparound fronts, but... And the nameplate things you can get as well. That's one of the other things you can buy. Jammer. 19, not bad. Tier 3. That looks actually quite cool. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. How much is that? 10,000. 10,000 is a tenner. In dollars, how much is that in British pounds? $5.95, $6.95, £5. Okay, I could get behind that. £5 for a tier 3. Yeah, okay, I could get. That's not too bad. I thought it was gonna be a lot more. What the? Yeah, okay. This is somebody with too much time on their hands and not enough design ideas. It's interesting. Again, as we've already previously said, cannons, 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 cannons. Oh, cannons everywhere. Yep. And I'm wrong. It's not a 0 to 90 because, as you can see, the swing there looks like it goes below 90. We'll have to look at that in a second. This thing just looks a beast. This is pretty impressive. Is it hover blades? Is it? I can't tell. I don't see what's moving this vehicle. Is it? Oh, there they go, hover blades. Okay, hover blades are in there, so I can see them. Hover blades, trails as well. You've got smoke trails, I think you can buy with premium. So that's tier 7. Call it 30,000. 30,000 you're gonna need. Basically, you're going to need both of these, so you're looking at 18 quid. Now, I understand these games are free to play, but they need to make their money. That's alright. It's hard to say, really, because it's not really alright, because it's basically giving someone a tier 7 tank straight away with them not having to do any work at all, and no, like, the person driving that could have absolutely no skill whatsoever. You don't know because they've not actually leveled up, so they won't know the basics, the tactics. Yeah. Again, I'm against buying pay-to-win models. I don't mind so much using money to unlock the tech, because you still need to, you know, learn how to place it onto your tank and, you know, tank designs. But if you give them a pre-made tank with everything in the perfect places, and then you go and put the guns in the perfect places, knowing that this is all protected, blah blah. They're not learning anything, they're not doing it, they're just driving it about in a tier 7 top tier tank. So it's, yeah, it's not a bad price, but then again you are also getting an extra garage slot and 90 days of premium. Oh, and you're also getting an upgrade to your CPU to make sure you can use it as well. Yeah, that flops upgrade's a bit annoying, because we work hard as hell to get our flops upgraded to level up. If you're going to give somebody to level up, so basically to boost them to a level where the rest of us are working really hard to get to, that's a bit of a dick move. That's not great. That's something that you need to kind of look at, because that's really disappointing. Actually, I didn't notice that previously. That's really disappointing, but we'll move on. This is what happens in most tier games, especially low-end tiers. You're gonna get a tier 1 or tier 2 with tier 4 cannons on it, maybe. Let's have a look. Tier 4, yeah. So a tier 1 or 2 with tier 4 cannons. So tier 4 cannons do hover over it. 2,700, so if both hit, you're looking at 5,000 plus damage. Tier 2 cubes are 136 a cube. I've got browns on it to allow me to put the cubes on, so they're 88. Basically, you'll be able to one-shot. After this one, we'll show you a tier 5 tank that I'm currently leveling, and that's my main tank that I'm trying to work on. And you'll see that I'm at the bottom of tier 5, trying to work my way up, and you'll see guys at the top of tier 5 that are just able to obliterate me with 1-2 shots, because they've got tier 7, tier 8 guns on a tier 5 chassis, and they're able to just blow you away, which is a bit of a disappointment, but you know, the tiers of the ship should go by the weapons. It shouldn't be, you know, the tiers of the weapons should implement more on the ships. Like, you'll see, I'm sure there'll be one somewhere. This guy's not even tested his vehicle before. Good job. Let's see if we can find one. We'll probably find one person with a tier 5 and a tier 2, which will be able to do like 2,000-3,000 damage, wipe everyone out. Yep, okay, it's not 0 to 90, it's a negative 90 to 90. So there you go, you can actually point them ground ways. I've seen the guy up there, I want him to keep distracted by the other guys up there. If we can get him behind him, he's dead. He's dead. As I say, this is just literally a battering ram tank. Hello, missed me. I missed him as well. Lost it. Oh, missed. Oh, I can't. It's my rear turret that's just... So the top turret's been destroyed. Oh, level 25, thank you very much. Top turret's been destroyed, but bottom turret survived. And we're gonna... Ooh, we might win this. Yep, we're fighting to keep it. There's a guy beside me, behind us. I'm gonna charge him because I've got one gun. He's dead. As a scale, he didn't stand a chance. It's a tier 4 cannon against tier 2 armor. Just doesn't. The guy doesn't stand a chance. They've got a couple of guys left, but I don't see them pulling us back. They're capturing our base, we're capturing their base, we're capturing faster, so there you go. And this should be victory. And we win. There you go. So that's plasma cannons, and Yeah, they're pretty overpowered at the moment. Cost of repairs 80, and we made 534 plus a bonus for the first of the day of 1068. There you go. And we've got bonus tech points, which we don't need because we've got everything unlocked. So there we go. So if we look at our tier 2 leaderboard, our average damage, our average score is up quite considerably. So we'll change to the tier 5 and show you what we have here. So what we've got is we've got our heaviest armor on the top, soft at the sides, because we don't need the extra protection on the sides because we're going after aircraft targets. As you can see, lots of frontal protection as well to make sure that if them arcing fires are coming short, or if we're pointing to the sky and there's somebody in front of us, these should absorb quite a bit, unless the plasma cannons, then we're fucked. What we want to do is we want to upgrade this radar if we have enough flops now. We do have enough flops, sweet. So we can now also sort the rest of this chassis out. So at the moment, the chassis is pretty weak. On the tail end anyway. So we want to kind of pad this out a little bit. No, the wheels are alright actually. They're sunk in. We might be alright there actually. What we'll do is we'll just get the front end a bit more protection. If we need later on, we can take that off and change it out completely, but at the moment it should be alright. We've still got 4 more, so we could secure this on here a bit better. We don't have any more of them. Loads of these though. We at 60. That should finish it. There we go. So we now got tier 5 radars, which should help spot. Still got a radar jammer on the back there. Tier 5 guns in the middle, so we're actually fighting at the tier we're supposed to be fighting at with it. 2 tier 4s, 2 tier 3s. That's what we have. Next level up, we might be able to put some more cannons, maybe even put some lasers on the side, but currently I don't have the ability for that with the low flops. But now I've noticed if you buy a high tank, you get the flops, so we'll see how hard it is to get levels, depending on if you want to put money into the game. Now, I'm all for putting money into the game, don't get me wrong. And this goes for all free-to-plays. I'm all for putting money into free-to-plays that are good quality, that work, and have the fun factor. I'm all for it, not a problem. What I'm not a fan of is the pay-to-win or pay and get nothing. Which, the best way for pay to get nothing, which is literally best explained by DayZ. DayZ standalone, we got, oh, that's a bit of a charge. DayZ standalone, we got $20, 12, 15 bucks, and we got nothing. We got a game that barely worked, barely ran. Oh, you're supporting the development of the game. I support the development of many games just through the free-to-play model. Just because your game is a very good mod doesn't mean, I'm jamming them, doesn't mean you're going to be any good, or the game's going to be any good. It's above us. It's above us. And I am all by myself. Oh, we took a frontal target there. Got 2 on us. Okay. So we softened up one guy and we took the guns off another guy, but again we were solo. So the only real problem I have with this game at the moment is people don't understand it's a team game and it's a strategy game. So 1495 repairs are 1203, so we just repaired more than we spent. They don't seem to understand this is a team game, a strategy game. If your whole team goes around the right flank, the left flank is wide open, the enemy will walk round and just go, oh, there's no one here. Ah, thanks very much, that's really kind of you, thanks very much. It's like, yeah, you gotta, you know, have your head on swivel. You've got to fill the spots and make sure that you don't just kind of stand there and go, oh, I thought it was so-and-so's job to go that way. It's like, no, mate, just no. We're gonna have a look at hardware and see if we can afford anything. Tier 5 is 4605. We don't have enough for that yet, so we can't really do that. We could always buy a Tier 4 railgun and put it on the Tier 2 to show you that. Bit of a waste of money, especially when we're doing that. No, we won't do that. Railgun's the same, it's just a charge and fire. It's not really much to see. We'll do one more and then probably call it a day there. But yeah, it's still a really good fun game, but you know, if that money is going to be channeled back into more developers, more programmers, more guys for new ideas, I'm all for it. Brilliant, knock on, great, let's all support the game. If it's going to go in someone's pocket, in an exec's pocket or whatever, and it's not going to be used for anything, is the best way of saying it, then that's what I'm not for. I'm not for that. That's what the DayZ model was. It was money in the pocket. Thanks very much. Oh, you want the game to work now? Yeah, in the next 3 years we'll have it working. Okay. That's why I'm not too worried about H1Z1 by Sony. They still haven't released it, but I'm not bothered. Wow, really? They've got an enemy after the cannon. And it's a paid. It's one of the guys that have bought the flyer that we looked at 2 seconds ago. Nice, that's really nice. Yeah, there's an enemy target up there, love. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not about to fire through that gap. Oh, it did get through that gap. Might not have been me right enough, it could be somebody else. What we got here? We've got 2 tanks. One, yeah, just the 2 of us on this flank. They have a lot of guys sitting on that ridge line. I'm wondering where them artillery shells are coming in, because they're really precise. It's got to be that guy out there. Well, that's fast. That's friendly. Phil, what are you doing? And again, you see the amount of plasma shells just coming round that corner. It's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And he's pretty much just destroyed everything with one shot. Again, firing laterally and not firing... No. Firing 90 degrees or lower, artillery cannons win the day. It's absolutely stupid. There's no reason to allow artillery cannons to fire direct fire. Absolutely none. That is something that needs to be addressed in the game. Oh, that guy's got flat spotlights pointing down. That's nice. Something that really needs to be addressed in, because that's, you know, there was no way I was going to win that fight. No matter what type of SMGs I was carrying, there was no way I was winning that. 1443. My repairs are 1491, so I lost money on that fight. Even though I was there, I was spotting, I was pointing stuff out. With my Tier 5 radar, no. Nothing at all. So, questions being, is this still a fun game to play? If you are not leveling, yes. Definitely, 100% yes. If you're not leveling up a character and you're playing a Tier 2 with the maxed out Tier 2 rank, amazing. If you're leveling up, like I'm doing a Tier 5 tank at the moment, it is going to be frustrating. There's nothing you can do. You've got to deal with that. It's going to be frustrating. You've got to deal with it and get on with it. Simple as that. There's no way around it. There's no cheap way other than buying a high tier tank, get the flops from that high tier tank and then use it. You know, that's the only way really. But I don't fancy any of the tanks. They look nice, but they don't attract me. But as you saw with that flyer, that was the free flyer that we looked at in this free section. You saw that the SMGs, anti-aircraft SMGs, so that's fast fire rate for a tight dispersal pan. A wide dispersal pan. Tight is if you just click it once, wide if you hold it. You saw the zeros just pinging off the bottom of them. So it's like, wow. So the electroplates that I originally thought were being brought into the game solely for the purpose of mitigating plasma damage seems to have just basically killed off SMGs completely. To the point where if I wasn't heart set on researching all the way to the end of SMGs first before starting anything else, that's what I want to do. I want to try and do all the SMGs first, then do the rail cannons, and then do plasma cannons. Would I have started with SMGs? Well, yes, because that's all that was available on day one. You know, you had SMGs, and that was it. Day two, you had SMGs, that was it. Day three, you had SMGs, that was it. If I was starting now as a new player with a new tank, would I start SMGs? Only until I could unlock tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 plasma cannons. And I would be a plasma cannon douche. Just run about with plasma cannons firing. You know. It's sad to say that there's one way to go, but at the moment, in current build, that's it. Get plasma cannons, get the best plasma cannons you can on your ship with the current tier. Blow shit up. That's it. But yeah, the game is still fun, it's still good at the maximum level at 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I could downgrade, I could take a couple of blocks off this and downgrade it to a tier 4, take some electroplates off, and it would be still really, really fun. It wouldn't level me up in tech points, which means I wouldn't be moving forward. I would be, you know, grabbing some cash, making some money, but, you know, what's the point if you're not trying to transition through the tech tree? So I could do it, but, you know, let's wait and see how it changes over the next little period. Hopefully, plasma cannons will get a fix, electroplates will get sorted, but who knows? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.